Today I'm speaking with Dr. Shanon Peter. Shanon Peter is a doctor in Los Angeles, California. He graduated cum laude in molecular and cellular biology and a minor in Spanish from Harvard. He then spent a year as a research fellow at the Harvard Initiative for Global Health, including some work for the Gates Millennium Foundation. So, Shanon, as you
Sandra,
know, the whole idea of this interview came about from our conversation like a few years ago when you shared with me that Spanish and statistics were two of the most important courses from your high school that like helps you in your role as a doctor, right? And I had shared that with my AP statistics students at the time, and I really like felt the impact it had on their learning. Um,
and
right.
I would compare the states that had already rolled out the nationalized health plan, which offers health insurance for poor Mexican citizens, to the states that hadn't done it yet. We were
Mhm.
able to show using math and statistics that this was an effective intervention. This was an effective use of dollars or pesos, if you will. Getting people insured was actually one of the best things you could do for their health and for their well-being. It's important to kind of know what type of statistical test is relevant to apply to what situation, because that's how you actually figure out truth from the data. A statistician will tell you there's no such thing as absolute truth,
Yeah.
but there are key values, you know?
Right.
There's a lot of fake medical news out there. There's a lot of, I'm not just talking about kind of things that are published in the lay media. I'm
Mhm.
actually talking about in actual journals. Even top journals sometimes suffer from this effect called p hacking, going
Mhm.
through so many variables that you're just kind of mining any one of them that becomes positive, any one of them that shows a signal, a
Yeah.
p-value of
Yeah.
less
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
0.05 for the purpose of kind of coming up with some kind of publishable result
Mhm.
that will get you some publicity and maybe some grant funding or whatnot. I shouldn't make a decision for my patient based on this conclusion because the start point was not a valid way to do it. Honestly, I have to say, I also felt that calculus
Hmm.
was actually a really relevant study. Um,
Really?
you have to have a really solid understanding of trigonometry. You have to have a really solid geometry foundation in order to be a good
Mhm.
student of calculus. Most
Mhm.
of what I do is prescribe medications for the right situation. And some of that includes drips, like IV medications that are ongoing for a
Yeah.
patient. Let's say they have arrhythmia and their heart's beating 190 beats per minute. They're going to pass out soon.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I might need to start them on a medication that's going in real time. Understanding these two topics called pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics, which is basically how does the drug distribute itself in the human body over time? How does it penetrate into the relevant tissues? Basically, studies of what is the integral, what does the area under the curve of this drug's action look like? You're dancing a delicate line. I care for a lot of these patients when they're admitted to the hospital. They're patients that come in with leukemia. They're extremely sick. They'll die in 2 days if you don't treat them right away. And what you got to do is you got to get them enough chemotherapy into the relevant organs or tissue, but at the same time, you don't want to affect the rest of the systems, or you will affect them, but you want to minimize the negative effects on the rest of the systems. So understanding the integral of the drug and how it works is actually pretty important to understanding how your chemo is going to work, both on the
Wow.
systems that need the cancer cells killed and on the healthy organs.
See, that I did not know. So that's, I mean, that is really powerful because I mean, I don't know if students, especially who are interested in medicine, really understand. Did you know that when you were,
No,
yeah, 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 yeah,
no, I
yeah.
had no idea how much math I'd be using.